Hey, it's Austin James. If you're like me, trying to live your best life while living with diabetes, you can relate to worrying if you're doing a good job managing your diabetes. I use the Freestyle Libre 3 Plus sensor to get real-time glucose readings and see the impact of every meal and activity to make better decisions. The Freestyle Libre 3 Plus sensor can help me live life with diabetes on my own terms, and it gives me more time for the things I love, like being a dad and a musician. Now this is progress. Learn more at freestylelibre.us.
For prescription only. Safety info found at freestylelibre.us.
This episode is brought to you by Amazon Prime. There's nothing sweeter than baking cookies during the holidays. With Prime, I get all my ingredients delivered right to my door, fast and free, no last-minute store trips needed. And of course, I blast my favorite holiday playlist on Amazon Music. It's the ultimate soundtrack for creating unforgettable memories. From streaming to shopping, it's on Prime. Visit Amazon.com/Prime to get more out of whatever you're into.
Craven, the hunter, who uses all the methods of the animals.
This Thursday.
Once you're on his list, there's only one way off.
Are you like your father?
He puts evil into the world. I get rid of people like him.
Who's next?
Witness the making of a new Marvel villain.
You think you're some kind of honor? You're a criminal, just like our father.
Aaron Taylor Johnson is Craven the Hunter. Rated R. Under 17 on admitted without parent. In theaters Thursday.
Tiff, welcome back. We had a little bit of time on the IR after the Thanksgiving holiday. We missed you.
First of all, let me just jump in here, right here and say, keep my name out your mouth when I'm not on the pod, okay? That's number one. Number two, Q, you directly. Let me just speak to you directly, okay?
I missed you.
No. Don't try to
missed you.
That shit don't work on me. That shit don't work on me. Sir, I do not eat chitlins. I've never seen chitlins, cooked chitlins. Nothing with chitlins has anything to do with Tiffany. So please,
I really forgot I said that.
Spread lies, and you will get a cease and desist, okay? And we will have a slander lawsuit coming your way, sir. Please do never have my name in your mouth with chitlins again. Let's just start right there. But hello, hi.
They told me.
Glad to know I was missed.
I didn't know. They told me.
Who is they? Put some names on it.
The people.
Put some ads on it. Put some ads on it. Who told you that? Adam, right now. Let's go.
Pay. Didn't the people tell us that she eat chitlins?
What people? Signs on them. Who? I would love to know who has their inside knowledge, because no one you all know I ever cooked for. So I would really like to know who that at sign was.
The streets be talking, but the streets don't say no names.
Got you. Okay.
We don't snitch.
Lying 101. Got you. Okay.
So you about to get on that Drake shit, huh? Cease and desist orders.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. I don't follow all that, rap beef and all that shit. Like I ain't a fan of either one. It is what it is. Like I do think some people be trying a little too hard to act like they just Kendrick stans. I'm like, man, there's a lot of Kendrick stans. Where were y'all 5 years ago? Now everybody crip walk everywhere they go. G, like it's a little nothing from Kendrick.
They not like us.
No, they not like us, bro. And I don't even. That song is, I'm so sick of it. I won't even lie to you. I'm so sick of it. And again, I'm sure it's some true Kendrick fans. I'm sure it's some people that found Kendrick and they really be vibing. But a lot of that shit is people just riding waves. Like, I'm over it. So I'll be glad winning the Super Bowl, all that shit. Let's move past it. Great. He getting his shine. He doing his thing. Good for him. Good for everybody. But Drake, on the other hand, he's suing and doing some lame shit on his own end. So it's all lame at this point. Like the shit done dragged out. How long now? Like over a year? I don't know. Like let's move past it.
Has it been a year?
I don't know.
I don't think it's been a year. I think it kicked off this year.
Okay. I don't know.
I'm over it.
It's time to move past it though. Usually the internet moves quickly. It gets past shit, but they won't get past this one for some reason.
It's probably felt like a year for Drake. Oh yeah, he's fighting demons. He's definitely doing that.
He just need to let it die. He don't want to keep bringing it back up, but that's how it goes.
I don't think it's all him to bringing it up. I think Kendrick circling the block on Buddy Body.
I'm sure he does. I mean, this is clear clearly the most acclaim he's gotten. Like, he might have had critical acclaim before, but this is the most love and play. So, I mean, if you keep pushing that button and you keep getting, good things, air quotes, in returns, I see why he keep doing it. And maybe they do genuinely hate each other. I mean, I don't know the ins and outs of it, but
we didn't get to talk after Thanksgiving. As you know, Black Friday had a Black Monday feel to it. But before we get into that, how many times did you circle back to the refrigerator for Thanksgiving leftovers?
I mean, I don't know if there's a count. I think I ate Thanksgiving food twice on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and then that was a wrap.
Okay, so that answers one question. How did you end up on the IR? And two, it answers the other question. If you had more yards than the Bears did yesterday?
You just had to walk to the bathroom and you had more yards than the Bears did. So, that wasn't hard for anyone.
Yeah, I think we all look like track athletes compared to the Bears offense in that first half. But Eberflus, the era of Eberflus is over. Go ahead and sum it up for us.
I mean, it's no summary. I think, I wasn't even upset on Thanksgiving. I really think, I was so jaded at that point when we didn't call the timeout. I was sitting there call the timeout. I was, kind of mouthing it to myself, but I wasn't, screaming, jumping. And then when we didn't and the clock just ran out, I just went back to cooking. It was oh, okay. It was so many body blows this season. It just felt oh, okay. It was literally well, there's another, stab in the heart. What else is new? It didn't hurt like it would if that was the first time this season we had something so harebrained and ridiculous happen. It was almost expected because of course we didn't call the timeout. Of course we get sacked and everybody acts like they've never played football before. Everybody's putting it on Eberflus and he should be gone. That's absolutely ridiculous. But at the same time, I'm and at this point, well, I'm sure we'll talk about it later on in the show. Caleb, you've been playing quarterback your whole life, bro. You've been managing clocks your whole life, bro. I mean, I'm not putting it on him, but at the same time, I need everybody on the team to start having some situational awareness. I mean, goodness, can everybody know, hey, we only got 30 freaking seconds left. Hey, we have a timeout. We should have tight end. Everybody should have been trying to call a timeout. And I get it. Maybe it was that I don't feel like I have the right to call a timeout. Maybe that was his feeling. But earlier in the game, when the clock was running out on the play, he called a timeout. So I need everybody to have a little bit more situational awareness because this is at this point, after yesterday's game, the whole team don't care. That's I'll say 90% of the team don't care no more because we don't have Eberflus to blame anymore. He's gone. Rightfully so. Not defending him. He should have been gone after that absolute 20th embarrassment on national TV. And then the press conference where he's again saying he really did nothing wrong. I mean, he had to be fired. I don't think they were going to fire him. If he would have got on their press conference and fell on the sword, I don't think they would have fired him. I really don't. But they had no choice when he embarrassed us so blatantly. When you had 90-year-old grandmas saying, call the timeout. They never watched football a day in their life. And they're sitting there call the timeout, baby. And then he gets up there and says, well, that's how we planned it. It should. Of course, we had to fire him. But he's gone now. Shane Waldron is gone. There's no one left to blame except who's left. So now, what are we going to do now? Now there's nobody else to cast the blame on. So what's going to happen now? So we'll see what everybody made of,
Yeah. That's exactly the tenor of today's episode that I was coming with. I didn't know if you all were going to have that same energy that I was going to bring, but I'm glad to see I won't be alone with it. So, Tiff, you were detached from the latest and last Eberflus conundrum, went right back to the kitchen, finished cooking your chitlins, and moved on with your life, and ended up on the IR. All right, fast forward to present day. The Bears, to a man, said they had a great week of practice of 10 days since the Eberflus got fired. 10 days leading up to this game with San Francisco 49ers. It felt like a weight was lifted off their shoulders. Shout out to Jalen Johnson for getting the ball rolling on that. And he's my favorite insubordinator. Like I said, everybody from to a man on the Bears rosters was in better spirits coming up to this game. Everyone said this was a great week of practice. Everyone's happy about where they are. They were pumped, ready to go. And then kickoff happened. The worst half of football in the Bears, I don't know, in the last 20 some odd years of Bears history. The Bears didn't.
I saw a couple Bears versus Patriots and a couple Bears versus Packers games that were worse first halves.
They had less than 5 yards of total offense in a half.
There was one time we didn't even cross the 50 against the Seahawks when that little Notre Dame quarterback starter for us. I got the CTE too. Can't even think of his name. Then there was the Bears versus 49ers game in 2000 where Cade McNown was showing his ass and Terrell Owens was breaking records.
Well, I remember that game.
I have a lot of trauma built up.
But we couldn't get close to the 50 in that first half yesterday. We had one first down, 4 sacks, a million and one punts. It was just a bad
fourth round pick.
Oh yeah, he's the MVP of the offense so far.
Just not to get too off track, but Ron Poles picked that punter over young, productive running backs like Bucky Irvin and Tyrone Tracy. Not that we needed a running back, but I'm just saying Bucky Irvin and Tyrone Tracy are not being paid a lot, and DeAndre Swift is, and Bucky Irvin's he's better than DeAndre Swift. I'm just saying. Better draft resources.
Well, I don't want to go that far and say he's better than DeAndre Swift yet. I would rather have him, but the point I was making, you can have all the great practices in the world, have all the great vibes in the world. You get paid to show up on game day. You get judged on what you do on game day, and this is a result-based business, and the results still escape the Bears. But before we get into all of the negatives from Sunday, we got to point out some positives first. At least got to start it off like that.
4 games left in the season. Top 10 draft pick. I mean, I really could. This is the first time I really didn't see any good. There was Roma Dunze. Roma Dunze was a good thing. I like the way Rome performed. I like that acrobatic catch in the back of the end zone, getting both feet down, making sure he got both feet down because he had a problem with that earlier in the year. Roma Dunze. I think he's a guy that's developing and starting to get his feel in the offense.
What about you, Tiff?
I mean, we just scraping for stuff. Try to make it good. I did have Rome on my list. I mean, he got 2 tutties.
You got a list? So. You have a list?
I always try to keep something. I won't even lie to you. For the second or third week in a row, I just, once it was down the tubes, I was like, that's it for this game. I'm not going to let this team kill my vibe. So I didn't even watch the end of the game. But, yeah, I mean, Rome had 2 tutties. He got those feet down on the one. That was good. I enjoyed that Shanahan had a Eberflus-esque challenge where replay review had already changed the call and he decided to challenge the shit. And that tickled me a little bit. That reminded me of Eberflus. I'm like, dude, replay assist just gave you the call. Why would you challenge it? But okay. I did like how they said Thomas Brown had called every player over the weekend, to kind of get everybody on the same page and good vibes. I thought that was great. But at the end of the day, the team didn't play like they cared. I mean, the defense played like they really missed Eberflus, if we want to be real. Or they just were lost without him, or they just don't care. One of the two, because they looked horrid. I mean, the offense has started slowly every first half of every game. But the fact that we weren't moving the ball in the first half wasn't surprising. The fact that the defense was just getting done, the fact that George Kittle had 200 yards in the first half. I know we're going to the bad now, and I'm not trying to, but that was really surprising. So the defense, it was glaringly obvious that Eberflus was missing in the play calling or in something with the defense in that first half. Because San Francisco is not San Francisco of last year, but we sure made them look like they were. They're beat the hell up. They've been losing, getting blown out, but they came out with the energy and the drive and the determination that you would have thought we would have with that boost of getting rid of Eberflus and a new coach. And we've had all these really close losses. We've been right there, and then we weren't even close to ever there. So
I was going to bring that up in my bad section, but I agree. Those are two really good shouts. Roma Duzier getting his feet down, looking like a professional. Finally figuring out. I remember in the preseason he said, "Oh yeah, I forgot you gotta have 2 feet down in the pros." Yeah, I forgot about that. Shout out to the young homie for getting that together. And but my good was coaching. From this aspect, one of the things that Eberflus, one of the things under the team that struggled, at least this season, from in the Eberflus regime, was execution. Just paying attention to the details. We consistently lost the penalty battle under Eberflus. We only had 2 penalties yesterday, 2 penalties for 30 yards, a lot less than our opponent. I think that is a step in the right direction. I want the team to be a little bit more adhering to the details, stuff like that. That's how you become a winner. Paying attention to those small things that push you in the right direction. So, for me, not having silly penalties that kill you, that kill drives, and take you out of scoring positions. So even though the Bears wasn't in scoring position a lot yesterday, I appreciate the fact that we wasn't getting a lot of flags thrown. But bulk of this episode, the bad. You hinted at it, Tiff. The bad, the defense, right?
I mean, yeah, everything was bad, but the defense was bad because we're just, like I said, we're not used to we're used to them letting people drive on them, but then they clamp down and stop. They weren't stopping nothing in that first half. Okay, like I said, George Kittle was getting whatever he wanted. Whoever that little backup running back, I don't even know his name. He was getting pretty much whatever. I mean, it was like we couldn't stop anything. We could not stop them. Purdy, for the most part, he was definitely out there looking like the number 1 draft pick in comparison. I mean, everything looked bad. I don't know if they were lost. They just didn't care. I couldn't tell. But usually they will bring some level of energy until maybe they get tired or it's the big play of the game and then they can't function for some reason. But this whole game, they look like they've looked on the last plays of other games. So it was just after the second score, I was like, oh yeah, that's it. First score, I was like, all right, we start slow. We'll probably come back in a half and make it competitive. After that second score, I was like, yeah, it's over with. This game is done. So.
What about you, Q?
I want to be able to say something new, but I guess I will be able to say something new. I'll get to that in my ugly, but the offensive line, of course. I mean, Joey Bosa was missing. The 49ers haven't been able to get pressure on opposing quarterbacks, but they were right there to sack Caleb time and time again. Damon Shelton got beat bad. I mean, it was terrible. The line is unable to protect Caleb. There weren't many holes in the running game. It almost seems like we need 5 new guys. I don't know if anything is salvageable from this offensive line.
5 guys? That's a very expensive burger restaurant, but it might be more. It might be more expensive than what we're paying for the 5 guys on the offensive line that we're paying to protect Caleb Williams. Like I said, I'll go for my bad. He was sacked 4 times in the first half. He was sacked almost as many times as he completed a pass. He only had 5 completions in the first half. The San Francisco 49ers outgained the Bears by 309 yards, I think, in the first half. So the whole collection of offense was horrid, very bad for me. I couldn't. It was disgusting. I had already started writing up my rant at halftime. I already knew what I wanted to say. I didn't have to see anything else in the second half. But when I got off my flight and landed, I did watch the second half just to make sure I didn't like say anything dumb. But I was like, okay, I'm already good. I'm good here. So the game was over at halftime, and that's never a good feeling, especially when you're watching your favorite team. You already know how this is going to go. Bears down 24 points. Can't even pinch the bitch to steal a line from a famous movie. They couldn't move the ball. I'm glad that they figured it out when they came out of the tunnel for the second half and went on a 16-play drive. But I mean, to be honest, I felt like the San Francisco 49ers were playing prevent. They played cover for that entire drive and just let the Bears do what they was going to do. Kudos to getting those 2 touchdowns in the second half. But I mean, to me, it felt like it was like consolation awards because we didn't have it in the first half. We took the beating that was given. I'm gonna start off my ugly with the defense. Q, I think you had said it in one of our group chats that maybe the Bears should hire Eberflus back as the defensive coordinator, and just go ahead and bring him right back because it looked horrible. I've never seen the San Francisco 49ers, at least this iteration, this season. I haven't seen them look this crisp ever. Brock Purdy.
That's down Christian McCaffrey and Brandon Ayuk. They were missing offensive linemen too. I can't remember who was missing.
Yeah. Trent Williams, I think he's banged up, but he did play. But they were on a 3-game losing streak. Brock Purdy, he missed the middle of that streak. So he only played 2 of the last games. But combined passing, he had less than 300 yards in 2 games. He had 325 against the Bears for 2 touchdowns. He had missed only 5 passes. I couldn't tell you when those 5 passes happened when he missed them because it looked like everything was completed. George Kittle grew up a Chicago Bears fan, and you could tell he was energized to see the Bears. He was like a kid on Christmas, kid in a candy store. He was running around with a lot of spunk when he saw that navy and orange. Right? Does anybody know when the last time George Kittle had 150 yards receiving?
He has one of them games every season, and then he goes quiet. I've owned him in fantasy, and I've been I've rode the highs and lows of being a Kittle owner. A lot of times he's just used for blocking.
You can't own no white man in this country, Q. You gotta switch your verbiage.
My bad. And you know what? Fantasy related, it's not good to own white men. Christian McCaffrey, Ricky Pearsall, Carson Steele. You all have led to my demise in one league.
I see a trend.
Listen, I'm going to say this.
Hey, bet on black is a thing. I never heard the other way around. That's all I'm going to say.
I don't see color. I have white friends, but I will not have white people on my fantasy team next year. I can tell you that much. Because this is ridiculous. They've literally led to 3 losses directly.
Sure it wasn't more?
Ricky Pearsall put a 0 in my lineup.
I remember that
one. Christian McCaffrey put a 0 in my lineup. I lost by like 8 week 1. Carson Steele put a -2 in my lineup, and I lost by 5 week 3. Yeah, we got to get these guys about this country. These illegal immigrants who came here, they got to go because killing me. So Kittle. Yeah, he looked like vintage Kittle. This was 2018 Kittle, 2019 Kittle. This was Kittle that was the focal point of the offense, Kittle. So he looked like TJ Hawkinson running around a couple weeks ago, just unbothered. I mean, is that the thing for tight ends? They just run unbothered. Does anybody jam them at the line of scrimmage? A tight end coming out of 3-point stance. Kittle, most of the damage I saw him do, he was coming out of 3-point stance. He was on the line of scrimmage. He's in the trenches. Somebody should have pushed him, bumped him, he should not be able to get a free release off the line of scrimmage in a 3-point stance, just running around the football field, just running like a bad toddler in Walmart. And that's what we let him do. That was disgusting.
2021 was the last time he had a game with 150 yards receiving. And since the end of that season, which, 3 years ago, he's had 5 total games of 100 yards where he reached 100 yards receiving.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Bears let him get he like I said, like you said, a bad toddler running around through Walmart. He saw the Bears. He said, "Oh yeah, it's time to cook. It's time for me to time for him to get busy." And he definitely got busy. He a big wrestling fan. He was coming off the top rope every catch he had. He only had six catches for 150 yards. It was 20 yards every damn time.
Having a Tyreek Hill type production. Every time I see Greg Kittle, I think of Adam Shaheen, Ryan Pace's one of his love childs of that 2017 draft, along with Mitch Trubisky. And I get mad. Greg Kittle grew up a Bear fan and hates the Packers.
You ain't got to be a Bear fan. As long as you hate the Packers, you good with me.
Yeah, you're right.
But after he put 151 yards on our head, he, stay away from me for a little while.
Not that big of a Bear fan after yesterday.
Tiff, my ugly was the defense. I feel like we are simpatico on this.
No, I got another ugly, but I'm gonna let Q go first.
I know what our ugly gonna be.
I want to see what he's gonna say.
I'm gonna let the defense. Eric Washington's unit was unprepared. They Pay, you talked about the good vibes and the kumbaya and the happiness of getting rid of Eberflus. The players, you all let a locker room revolt, and you all blame this man for having you all unprepared and for causing you to lose games. He's not here anymore, and you still looked unprepared, and you still lost games.
The most unprepared they've looked all season.
Eberflus is somewhere smiling right now.
I was thinking that. I was like, he got his feet kicked up. He laughing. He pointing. He had the time of his life yesterday.
It wouldn't have surprised me.
He recorded that game and he's watching that shit back right now.
He's watching it back to back like people watch Home Alone at the end of December. It's a classic Christmas movie. He had a ball. It wouldn't surprise me if he was sending notes and tips to Kyle Shanahan throughout the entire week.
He definitely has a KD burner where he's on there talking shit. I guarantee you, he's got a burner account.
He definitely is. He definitely feels wronged. The defense, that is my ugly. I mean, they looked uninspired. They looked unmotivated. I mean, Kittle and Juan Jennings, which is doing what they want to do. Purdy was looking like vintage Pat Mahomes. He was avoiding people in the pocket. He was making off-platform throws. He was just looking like Drew Brees and Pat Mahomes met at a bar one night and just had an unprotected one-night stand, and Brees gave birth to a baby with all their genetic DNA for a quarterback. And that's a pretty disgusting picture I just painted, by the way. I'm just freestyling right now. But yeah, he was just it was terrible. The defense, that is my ugly. Eric Washington, defensive coordinator by name only during this era, because the play calling, the timing, the feel for the defense was terrible. So we know Eberflus had one thing right, and that was play calling. I think Eberflus' stock as a defensive coordinator just might have went up after that game. I'm not saying he's ever going to be a head coach, but as a defensive coordinator at some level, top D1 college or in the NFL, he'll be calling plays again soon.
Oh no, he's done as a head coach. He'd never get one of those jobs.
Oh yeah, but he'll be a coordinator somewhere.
Oh yeah, of course,
college or NFL.
Just like old boy that's defensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm blanking on his name right now.
Spagnuolo.
Yeah, you know what he did so that he's blacklisted from being a head coach ever again.
I was watching a Chiefs game, and I've watched a few Chiefs games this year, and they talk about Spagnuolo, why he's not going to get an opportunity to head coach again. I'm like, did you see the last time he was a head coach?
Right.
That's why he's not going to get an opportunity.
Yeah, you can't give him all the power in the locker room. Can't do that because laws get broken. So I got a question. So me and Q, We both saw the defense as the worst thing to happen on Sunday. We all blamed Eberflus. We all blamed Shane Waldron for the predicament that led us to this point, right? We have no one else the two people that we felt were to blame, we can't blame them anymore. At least for not for Sunday. Is it now the time that we ask maybe some of the core, maybe some of the players are the issue too?
The players and the person putting the players on the field. You got to start looking at you, Ryan.
This is third.
We're going into year 4, Ryan.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't care what type of rebuild you're doing. You could be an expansion team. You can't have double-digit losses 3 straight years. I'm sorry. You can't have what is this? 3 top 10 picks?
Darnell Wright, Caleb Williams,
Roma Dunze,
yeah.
I'm sorry. Any GM given 3 top 10 picks, I need to see something turn around. I mean, when you get 3 top 10 picks, you should have 3 high impact players. These guys are supposed to be Pro Bowlers. They're supposed to be impacting winning. There's not a lot of impact.
He hasn't acquired a Pro Bowler yet, has he? Like drafted or
drafted one? No, he is not. This is draft. This is 3 years of drafting, and you've had also multiple second-round picks. Brisker would have been a Pro Bowler had he not gotten the concussion. I think Brisker was well on his way to being a Pro Bowler. Gordon's also a very good player. I'm not saying that he hasn't picked talent, but there just hasn't been enough talent. And then when you're taking guys like Torrey Taylor in the 4th round, when there's starting level players still in the draft, good punter or not, that's not a priority. You need guys that are impacting the majority of the game.
That's gonna be his Shaheen. That's his Shaheen. Yeah, when he gets shown the door, they're gonna say, "Hey, remember that time you drafted a punter in the 4th round?" Remember that. Keep that on your resume because everybody needs to remember that.
Keep that Claypool for your 2nd round pick on your resume too.
Oh fuck! I had almost forgot. Oh,
that's him.
Yeah, that's him. Tiff, go ahead. Let's hear it. Let's hear the ugly.
I'm really disappointed in both of you. Because you all set me up like this every time. Oh, the defense. We said that 50 times throughout the show, and that's still what you're going to go with, and you're going to still leave the ball in my court for me to be the one to call a spade a spade. But you know what? I'll do it, okay? Let's talk about your boy Caleb and his fumble.
It was coming.
Let's talk about it. Hey, we here with the ugly. Let's speak about it.
I want you to be great.
You two act like we can't say nothing about it. He's a rookie. Damn, does that mean he don't know how to play football? He's a rookie. And I'm not jumping on him. He's not the reason. He's not the sole reason we lost yesterday. But let's be real. If you watch that game, yes or no, was that fumble a turning point in the momentum? Up until that point, did it feel like we're getting back into this change?
No.
We have a chance. Yes or no?
No,
it did not feel. You're full of shit. I'm coming to you, Vince. Are you going to be a liar or a truth teller? Did it feel like we had a chance and we had momentum to maybe get back in that game before that fumble? Yes or no?
If we had scored a touchdown there.
No. It's what I'm saying. Did it feel like we had a chance to get back in the game up until that point? The way the second half was going, when we scored twice in a row, boom, we get the ball back. We moving and shaking. Yes or no? Did it feel like we had a chance to get into that game? And then right after that fumble, did it feel like that shit had fell apart? Yes or no?
The momentum switch sidelines.
Oh, they be so, oh my God, they be so hesitant. Just say yes. It's okay. It's okay. We're not saying we gonna exile.
I just agreed with you. The momentum.
It took pulling teeth. Y'all like, well,
that was the final nail in the coffin. But I didn't feel like if
I had already said the game was over.
On the Thanksgiving game, do you feel like he should have called a timeout? Yes or no? We all agree Eberflus.
Somebody should have called a damn timeout.
Should have called a timeout. But should Caleb, as the QB, yes or no, should he have called a timeout?
I put blame on Eberflus, Caleb, and Thomas Brown.
Okay.
And for that issue. Yes.
So that's a yes. So you're a yes. Okay. Q, let me come to you. Yes or no?
Somebody should have called a timeout. 1 of the 3.
Yeah. Okay, so Caleb should have called a timeout. Yes, you're in the yes column too. Okay, that's all I'm asking for. I don't feel like I should have to pull teeth for y'all to just be honest. So that was my ugly in the game. Hey, the defense was ugly. We covered that every way from Sunday. Okay, but that fumble to me felt like a turning point in the game because coming out in the second half, whether they were playing prevent or not, we had just rattled off 2 scores. And at that time, were we down by only 1 score or were we down by 10? I can't remember. Okay. Yeah. But we were driving and it felt like, okay, we may be doing something. Fumbling, it happens. But that one, it was like, damn, bro, nobody was even around you, my guy. Like, it wasn't like, ooh, we making a play and somebody hit it out. It just, I guess, slipped or whatever happened. So that was kind of like and one other thing I noticed, this is just incidental, but we've seen a lot of receivers, Keenan, DJ, who have not historically dropped passes, dropped a lot of passes. And I don't know if it's just because Caleb is throwing bullets. I don't know what it is, but it's something.
Blame Caleb for their hands not working on brand.
But all of them, who their hands have worked everywhere until this point, but this year suddenly their hands don't work. I'm not blaming that on Caleb, but I think they need some more practice, and maybe at some points he needs to know I got to throw it a little soft. Like for real, like there were 2 or 3 times it hit DJ, he dropped it. It hit like we've seen several where Keenan dropped it, and again, these are proven receivers who haven't had drop issues in the past, so it's not like they forgot how to catch. So that's just something I noticed. Like, damn, why do these receivers who have been consistent with all kind of quarterbacks throughout their careers, at least DJ, with not the best, you know what I'm saying? And that was something that they mentioned all the time between Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. Like the way they throw the ball for some receivers, like Pickens, it's easier for them to catch it the way that Russ throws it versus Justin with a little bit more of the bullet. So that was just something I noticed, like, damn, these are receivers who have had careers where they've consistently not dropped passes. And this season, we've seen more drops than ever. So I just want everybody to get on the same page. Maybe they just need to throw to each other more. I don't know what it is, but we've seen a lot of DJ, Keenan, Cole Kmet. That 2-point conversion hit him right in the chest, didn't it? Like, why is everybody not able to catch the ball over and over and over? I don't know. The shit just odd to me. So
I cannot confirm that the McCaskies did purchase a jugs machine and have one up there in Lake Forest. I can't confirm it. So maybe the receivers do need a little bit more time, practicing on their craft. I don't know, but yes, there's an abnormal amount of drops this season. Can you say the quarterback is throwing the ball a little too hard? I remember that was an issue for Brett Favre. Back in his heyday, he was putting a little bit too much mustard.
There you go
on the pass, and it could be an issue for Caleb as well. I'm not gonna just excuse it out without any prior knowledge, but I'm also not going to say that fault should lie with him as of right now.
Not throwing any fault anywhere. I'm just saying that was something that I noticed in this game. And it was like, this has been happening all season. And everybody drops the ball. Everybody, like, that's a part of football. But this is something we've seen fairly consistently from players in the past where we didn't. That's all I'm saying. No blame is being put anywhere. But I'm just saying they need to get in the lab and start throwing the ball to each other. Like Caleb throwing it to them more. Whether it's bullets, soft pad, I don't care what it is. Figure out how you can throw and catch together.
I think we all agree with that. Everybody needs to get in the lab.
To loosely quote Cole Kmet, there's been a lack of attention to detail and a lack of accountability going back to training camp. This is what he said after the Commanders game. So that could account for some of the guys not being as focused. As far as the drop passes, it's not like these passes look like they have a high degree of difficulty. The one to Cole Kmet, I mean,
the one to DJ, he hit him like both of them hit him right. And that's what I'm saying. They're not like
now the one to DJ that he dropped in Detroit. Caleb should have led him. You put it on the back shoulder.
Oh, yeah, no, I meant this pass game when it literally hit DJ in the chest.
Yeah, now that one, DJ, that drop was solely on D. I feel like whenever the ball touches your hands as a receiver, you should bring it in. You're a professional. So, and especially with the modern gloves. However, I really am. I'm perplexed by the drops. You know, like as you stated, Keenan Allen, sure-handed receiver. That's what he's known for. Cole Kmet, I think he was the only receiver last year with more than 70 targets that did not record a drop. And I've seen him drop 2 this year. I think he dropped one. Was it last week? Did he drop an easy one? Or the week before? Yeah, so I've seen Kmet drop 2 or 3 this year. So the drops are perplexing. I'm not gonna pile on the Caleb blame like you, Tiff.
Oh no, you all don't want to say anything about it.
Well, I'm saying
the damn ball when no one was around.
I mean, the guy has 7 straight. I could tell you who's not catching Caleb's passes, and that's defenders. 7 straight games without an interception.
Yeah, because he takes the sack instead.
240 passing attempts without an interception.
He's in the 250s. I think he's reached the 250s now.
In the 250s.
This was his first turnover. That fumble that you
first turnover, and Tiff wants to hang him.
Mean, like next year, I get it. You being safe with the ball, we love it. But at some point,
he does have to turn it loose.
You're gonna have to let it fly. Though you're gonna get a pick. That's life. That's a quarterback. At some point, you're gonna have to let it fly. Just like we talk about Eberflus calling the game conservatively and whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop, this playing conservative shit ain't working either. So at some point, be careful with the ball. I'm not saying turn it over, but at some point, he's going to have to trust himself enough to let it fly in some of them circumstances.
We're calling Caleb conservative?
Huh?
We're calling Caleb conservative?
I don't. You know what, Pay? You know what, Pay? Rewatching some. You know what? Rewatching some of these games. Rewatching some of these games, there's been a couple times where he's been hesitant to let it fly in man coverage and let his guy make a play on the ball. I could point out at least three times he's taken a sack where I'm looking where there's man coverage across the board. The defense is in straight man. Everybody is just manned up, and you got to give your guy a chance to make a play. I mean, sometimes, defenders may be sticky in coverage, but you got a guy one-on-one. You got a Kmet one-on-one. You got a DJ one-on-one who's not – DJ isn't tall. But as we saw I've seen Justin a couple times, give him a chance to make a 50-50 ball, 50-50 chance on the ball. Cole Kmet, guy 6'6". You got to throw it up there and let him make a play. So, and even in the telecast, I know I'm not tripping because in the telecast, was it –
Vilma. It was Jonathan Vilma. He
said sometimes you got to let it go. And I thought I might have been tripping because I'm looking back and I'm saying there's man coverage here, and the guys in your receiver's hip pocket, but you got to let a guy make a play. The receivers are highly paid. Guys like we've seen DJ Moore make acrobatic catches. Keenan Allen's a guy 6'3". Cole Kmet is a guy 6'6". But one thing I did want to point out, Eberflus has drilled into Fields and Caleb Williams' head to play ultra conservative with the ball, and I think that's still lingering. We all thought last year when Justin Fields came out and made a criticism about playing mechanical and how they're having to play, we automatically assumed that was Luke Getsy. We automatically assumed Justin Fields' beef was with Luke Getsy. But we also heard that the Raiders made a push to trade for Justin Fields. I don't think Luke Getsy and Justin Fields, that was the issue. I think Justin Fields' issue was with Eberflus. I think Caleb Williams had an issue with Eberflus too. I think we just automatically assumed that because Getsy was a play caller, that Justin Fields was saying that Getsy was making him play too conservative. I think it was Eberflus the whole time. And I think you could see that with Caleb Williams play this year. This is the guy that was known at USC for having a great deep ball and throwing the ball in the tight windows down the field. We haven't seen that Caleb Williams, and I understand there's a big difference between pros and college, but from what we've heard, Eberflus has drilled it in him to pause, no Diddy, drilled it in him to play conservative and to be careful with the ball.
Yeah, I think that, and I think maybe how the season started, where he was like airing it out a little bit, and he had a few picks to start, and I think it was, like, hey, we don't do that no more. It is to be expected. That's what I'm saying. I'm not faulting him for that, but I'm saying I think it's been overcorrected at this point. It's like, yeah, we don't want him to throw picks. Let's not get it twisted. I like streaks of that, but I think it's been overcorrected. You
got to take a chance.
I'm taking a 40-yard sack instead of maybe trusting my guy, or at least throwing it away or something.
You got to let that guy win a matchup. Yeah, I don't want you throwing in the double coverage. But yeah, let a guy like Cant. I mean, he in the back of the end zone. To be fair, he gave Roma Dunze a chance to high point, and Roma Dunze did it. He high pointed the ball, got both feet in, and it was tight man coverage. Rome did what he was supposed to do. So, but yeah, I think Caleb shouldn't be in this ugly section. That's what I want to say. He shouldn't be the ugly.
Oh God. Okay, here we go. Can't say nothing about Caleb. And all I said was the fumble was ugly. I didn't say he or his play particularly.
But you couldn't wait.
That fumble was ugly.
To get him in
you all
ugly,
can put whatever bow and flower you want to on it. A fumble when absolutely no one is around you in any way, shape, or form is an ugly play.
Period. I think on that fumble, it looked like he was trying to. Was it a screen pass? And I think at the last minute he decided not to. That's an ugly play, but I don't think of all the ugly that we saw in San Francisco that's the reason we lost. And I don't think we were going to come back.
75 times. Look, I was just trying to, what I'm saying. I was just trying to have a little variety. That's it.
I know your variety is always.
That's why I let you go first, because I'm like, man, one of them is going to mention this fumble. We have gone the whole game and no one's mentioned it, so someone's going to mention it. But no, let's continue to. Damn.
I'm just saying, you talk about variety and you always pull up to the same drive-through, Tiff.
No, I don't. Because you always say shit. Damn.
Drive-through.
No, I don't.
Eating the same
combo on my good list several weeks.
Let me order the number 11. Heavy on the Caleb criticism, please.
That's a lot. Heavy on the throwing flowers. Oh, we only had 2 yards. Well, let's throw the flowers. Oh, 2 total yards of offense. Let's throw the flowers. Get out
I
of
don't
here
think I've praised Caleb today until you over-criticize.
You praised him today for what?
Well, because you over-criticized the man. You want to?
No, come on, man. We talking about this game. It's not much to praise for this game for nobody.
There's nothing to praise from this game,
exactly,
except for Roma Dunze.
That was how we go from losing such close games against really, really good divisional rivals to just getting absolutely mollywopped by the subpar 49ers.
You changed my mind, Q. I was staunchly against this conservative rap for Caleb, but yeah, the way you broke it down.
Q changed your mind? Q changed your mind? Oh, I see. This Caleb train.
I was staunch.
Lord have mercy.
I was staunchly against it, but the way you put it out there, okay, I can maybe go with it. You might, what, Q? You might be good doing some all 22 video, man. Have you ever thought about that?
You know what? I actually have. I definitely have, and I think I am. I think I'm going to you start the film breakdown. I think the world needs to hear the insight of Q with all 22. That is a great idea. That is a great idea. Why didn't you suggest this to me before?
Clip Caleb. Clip your Caleb commentary and send it to me.
On-air listeners and viewers of this all 22. You're right.
I want you to clip your Caleb commentary and send it to me. I'd love to hear that.
All right.
Why? So you could. So
no, I want to hear all the objectives.
So you can dub it.
No, I just want to hear all the objectives. I want to see how you gloss over the bad plays, and so you're gonna be Chris Collinsworth on that bitch, like he talk about Patrick Mahomes.
My thing with Caleb, he threaded the needle way too much for me to even consider him to be conservative. But I mean, that's just me.
Man, listen, you gotta look at stuff holistically, man.
I don't think he's ultra
with
conservative.
Rose-colored glasses, bro. It's like 20 bad plays and the one great play. You act like it erases the bad. Like, let's look at it holistically.
But the plays that are negative, I don't necessarily put them in the bad category. Okay, the play didn't have a positive outcome. Okay, fine. Was it a bad play? Was it a play that he should know better from? There's levels to it, but then there's the great plays. Like, that's the plays that a lot of people can't do. So yes, I can't sauce that up because okay, that's the reason why he's here. Those plays.
Well, I just can't wait for those plays for everybody to start equaling some actual progress and wins. Because, man, these moral victories, trying to scrape up these moral victories is sad and tired, okay? So I am ready as a Bears fan, not him specifically, but I'm ready for all those future shining lights to turn into some actual dubs, okay? Then we can throw all the flowers we want to throw because this is all theoretical at this point.
You're right. And we were all wrong in our game preview about the Bears. The Bears going to win and cover and doing all this other stuff.
You two were wrong.
Okay. Yes, you didn't.
You weren't here to.
You don't preview games.
In fact, you're never here to be right on Thursdays.
Hey, I guess so. You can slander me when I'm not here. I guess
that was not Thursday. Well, it was Thursday.
Yeah, crazy.
And it's only slander if it's not true.
I've never tasted chitlins in my life, so it is true. It is slander.
Is it? I mean,
I've never seen them cooked. I don't know anybody who eats them.
Can you
no
prove
offense
that?
to all the people out here who do, but
Tiff, I can only go by the information I'm given. If I was wrong, I apologize.
No, okay.
It's not that big. It's not that big deal to eat
I could dig up that I could be given. Let me see.
No.
I'm gonna dig up some information that I could be given. Don't worry about it. I'll have a full report.
Full report next episode from Tiff.
No. Be careful not to offend anybody who eats chitlins. There are people that eat chitlins.
I mean, good for them. That I'm sure they like them, and if they like it, I love it. But I never needed to taste them. There's so many foods in the world. I never needed to take that route.
As we said last episode, do not dine on pig ass. And the Bears game against the San Francisco 49ers was a whole big bowl of pig ass.
They deserve to eat pig asses after that. Like, they deserve to.
The Bears.
We definitely don't want to hear
my
no
bear
more.
claws up.
No, ain't no bear claws, ain't no dub.
Hey, listen. It's bear down. It's bear down until the world blow. You know how it go.
It definitely is. But
the
Bears.
Bear down. Say it, Tiff.
Bear down.
Thanks for listening to this latest edition from the Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan channel. Whether you listen to this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or watching on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe, share with a friend, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a drop. And all my homies from Chicago, we say three things: bear down, go Cubs go, and sell the team, Jerry.